Don't mind me this morning. I'm celebrating the New York Giants Super Bowl win in year to be determined. TBD. Started off my morning in this frigid, freezing cold, thinking about the Super Bowl, thinking about the New York Giants, thinking about a lot of other things. And I got an incoming call from what the fuck? Who is this? Who is calling me at this time of day from this telephone number? I have no idea. And it's a 609 number. What the fuck is that? Who the fuck is that? Who the hell is that? Hold on. I don't know anyone from this area code they're calling, but I woke up this morning thinking about the New York Football Giants, thinking about how they could potentially win this game, thinking about how they could do so many different things. And it just comes to my opinion that I've always get the same question over and over again. When are the Giants going to get to the Super Bowl? When are the Giants going to be the one that people look at and say, hey, you know what? We have just reached this point where we have reached a crescendo and we're getting ready to be something special. When is that going to happen? And you take a look at what the New England Patriots did. New England Patriots sucked for how many numbers? For how many years? I mean, for the last couple years. I mean, they've been bad since Brady left. And people are like, we have to get this situated. We got to get this. We got to get this. We got to get this right. We have the talent. We have the necessity things that we need to make this team something great. Are we going to be in the same pattern as what the trajectory of the New England Patriots? Are we going to have our Sam Darnold moment? I don't think so. I mean, I really don't think so at this point in time. But we have to, we have to think about it for a second. Everyone hold on one second. I got to hit mute a second because I got to see who the fuck this person is that's just called me because hold on, I got to stop. Where's the audio? Everyone just let's see here. Well, hold on. Everyone just stop everyone just hold on for 1 second. Just hold on for 1 second. I gotta call this person back. Hold on, everyone hold on. Hold on. I'm sorry, who is this? Harley of Trenton? Harley Davidson? And what did you need? All right, we're back. Some nut calling me about something I did yesterday. I'm like, I didn't do anything yesterday, but we're worried about and talking about the new. Shit. We're having a morning here, guys. We're having all these technical difficulties, but when will the Giants make the Super Bowl? When will we get to that point? When will we see the crown, our crowning achievement? When are we going to have our moment? God, when, Lord? When are we going to be us? When is it going to be our time? I don't know. I wish I could tell you guys. But I can tell you this. You have a lot of fans that are upset that Jackson Dart didn't win the he didn't win the Rookie of the Year. And honestly, if you're going to be honest about it, Jackson Dart probably didn't deserve to win the Rookie of the Year. There were better players at the position that did more than he did. While he was exciting for Giant fans, I see this hubbub that he should have won. We should be doing that. No, we're fine. But it's just kind of reached that point. And again, this is Tim's New York Giants Straight Talk, brought to you by the Mighty FanDuel. Yeah, green screen is showing. Yeah, I know. Something happened with the camera. So the green screen, but you see how bright the green screen needs to be to work here. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on. But I've said this before, and I've told people over and over again. The fact that we have gotten the head coach, the fact that we have reached a point now where some people are already complaining about the moves or questioning the moves of John Harbaugh is not, I'm not going to say is a bad sign, but I'm just going to say this. It just doesn't make sense. You need to remember where we're at. We are in the beginning. We are in the beginning, and no one wants to hear it, but we are in the beginning process that we were X ago with where we thought we were going with Joe Shane. We're in that beginning process, and we hope the process continues. But that's where we're at right now. And if you take a look at the roster, you take a look at our depth, you take a look at where we're at, we could be, 4 years away. We could be 10 years away. Hell, you never know in the NFL, because the NFL is one of those things that it's an enigma wrapped in a riddle. And that's what we need to look at as Giant fans. And I think smart Giant fans see it that way. And like I said, if we have 5 to 7 wins next year, I call that a successful season, because of the fact that with Harbaugh, if we have additional wins, I think we'll get 2 additional wins with the Harbaugh, and we'll kind of have to go from there. But you know what? To try to pinpoint when we're going to make the mighty Super Bowl, that's gonna be a little different. But I'm excited. I'm excited to see what happens. Mike Lee says, bet they are the same fans that thought DJ was the best and could do no wrong. Translation, they are delusional. Like I said, guys, when we are the voice of reason here, when we are the people that give the accurate information, and I love people that posted on like Instagram and Twitter and all those places that were like, Tim, you've been right when we've been bad. I'm going to trust you that you are right, that you think we're going to be good. Because I do. I think Nagy's a good hire. I think Denard Wilson is a good hire. I think Chris Horton's a good hire. I think everyone they've brought in is fitting a philosophy and a program. I really do think that. And I think that philosophy in the program is going to show itself and culminate into the Super Bowl, as you can see behind me. Because evidently there's going to be a Super Bowl, because there was a picture of the Giants win the Super Bowl behind me for those that missed, but my camera fucked up. So just pretend. There's a picture of the Giants winning the Super Bowl. I could reenact it for. Oh, we'll reenact it for you. Giants win the Super Bowl. Yay! See, there we go. I reenacted it for you. Just like Primitive Wars, we have a big budget here, as you can tell. But I wanted to talk about the wide receiver room. I wanted to talk about our depth. I wanted to talk about all this. James Owing says, I don't care about the Super Bowl in the next 2 years. I want to beat Dallas and Dak in a meaningful game. You know what would be a success for me for the New York Football Giants? I was thinking about this. You know what would be a success? That we literally go out there and we play meaningful games in December. Not spoilers. I don't want to be a spoiler, but we literally play a meaningful game in December. That, to me, would be the ultimate success for the New York Football Giants. That maybe we're 2 games, maybe we're in December, we're 2 games under 500, we're 3 games out of divisional lead, and all of a sudden we're playing these meaningful games. That's what I like. T-Brad, what's up, brother? T, are you even around ever? Because you're never on the show anymore. We went in solidarity with T-Brad for not showing up anymore, and we just turned off all. We are in mourning that T-Brad's never on. That's why the green screen is here, because I refuse to put another picture behind me until T-Brad shows up. Tommy Two Socks, thank you for reposting the stream. I greatly appreciate that. But I wanted to talk about the venerable wide receiver room. I want to talk about what we have, what we don't have. We got a lot of people that are somewhat complaining, that we should take a receiver. And I understand their thought process, but we've talked about this before. You can't keep taking these wide receivers at a high pick. You cannot continue to do this. And taking a wide receiver at 5 is not going to be to this team's detriment. But is it something that this team needs immediately? Is this a permanent need that we take a look at and say, okay, we need to go out and get this venerable wide receiver at 5 to go along with our bookend. And I would have said before, yeah, maybe that would be a good idea. And then the whole draft got screwed up because of fucking Dante Moore decides, I'm going back to college. I'm going back to Oregon. So the Jets probably no longer going to grab Dante Moore because he's not coming out. He would have been the perfect Jet pick, but it fucks up the whole draft. It takes a pendulum shift in the whole draft. Because like I said, to me, Reese is the guy that you go after if you're the Giants. Reese is that linebacker. And yes, I know we've talked about it before. People say that he's that hybrid linebacker that can play defensive end. No, I see him more as a hybrid linebacker that can play either the outside position or the inside position. And to your point, here we go. The Skyline says, and we are the 32nd ranked rushing defense, and people want to ride wide receiver. Get a linebacker. You're right. 100%. You just nailed it. But here's the problem. I think Reese goes to the Jets. And I know they have listed as an edge, and I love it because ESPN called him, he's built in the model of Parsons and Abdul Qadir. And we've talked about this before. Let's all go to the lobby. We've talked about this many times before. I don't want that mold because this is Abdul Qadir. And this is Parsons. Abdul Qadir. Parsons. I want Parsons. And if you actually take a look at Reese, he looks like Parsons. He looks like Micah Parsons. But I think Reese goes to the Jets. I think Francis goes to Miami, the big tackle. Not Miami. Of course, he does go to Miami. I think he goes to Arizona. I think then where you get interesting in this draft is the Tennessee Titans. The Tennessee Titans have new head coach, new offensive coordinator, second-year quarterback. I think they go wide receiver. Now, the question is going to be, if they go wide receiver, which direction are they going in? Are they going to go Carnell Tate? Are they going Jordan Tyson? Because honestly, if I'm comparing the two between Tate and Tyson, 163, 195, 162, 200. One runs 4.6, one runs a 4.5. Tate and Tyson. They are so similar in their game plan and in the way they play, these guys, that it's just to me like you have two guys that are interchangeable. I know that James Williams is probably want to go. James Williams, I know where you're going to want to go. I know it's going to be shocking, but we know where James Williams want to go. I want to go. Hold on, wait a minute. I want to go Tate. We all know where James wants to go. We all know which way he's gonna lead. And sometimes you're gonna leave. Vinny G, what's up? Mega Giant 69 says if they re-sign Wandell, I think they find a wide receiver, even if they get a good one, cheap wide receiver in free agency. You know what the thing is? I can't sign Wandell. And I love people that always ask me, well, you don't know anything about football. You have to sign Wandell Robinson because he's at 1,000 yards. Yeah, I also had to give Tate Crowder a huge contract because he had 154 tackles. And then when you actually broke down his game, you kind of were like, well, this doesn't make any sense why we had to re-sign him. Wandell's the same way. Wandell had 400 yards in 3 games and 600 in the other 12. He averaged 48 yards in 12 games, and 2 of the games that he had his 100-yard games were some of the worst secondaries in the league. So I'm going to pay a guy $45 million or $50 million or whatever he wants to be a slot that can't really go downfield, and his targets have gone up exponentially. We watched his catch percentage drop, and I'm going to pay him to being good in 3 games out of 17. He only played in 16 because he didn't play last game season. So I'm only going to pay him to be good. I'm going to give you top slot receiver money, and I'm going to thank you, Dr. Intel. Nah, let him go. Motherfucker's 5'8". Yeah. He's fucking 5'8", had 400 yards in 3 games, and in the other 13 games, he had 600. So again, I can't pay a guy, and I love it because we've talked this, and his actual for weeks his production went down when we lost Malik Neighbors in week 5. But you're going to pay a guy that had his big games were 152 against Dallas, 156 against Detroit, and 113 against the Raiders. So he played against two of the worst defenses in the league and had his big games. His other games were 55, 26, 14, 30, 84, 48, 46, 62, 36, 34, 34, 19. Yeah, I should pay a guy that got 55, 26, 14, 30 after our star goes down and he's stepping up and he's coming up like 7-up. He goes 14, 30, 84, 48, 46, 62, 36. Yep, that's the guy I should go out and sign to a big contract. No, I'm not signing the fucking midgets. Tim, what's Davey say? Tim, what's up, Big Davey? Tim, where's Davey says? Davey says, I just bought my favorite all-time Giants rookie card, LT in action. You got to love that. That's a good rookie card to have. Big T-Brad says, I don't want a wide receiver 5. I want the Giants to go get Alex Pierce. I don't want Alex Pierce. Giants need to stay far away from Alex Pierce. Alex Pierce has bust written all over him. And I love you, T, but he's got bust written all over him. This is a guy that had over 1,000 yards on 47 receptions. This is a guy with straight line speed. I would not refer to his pattern running ability to be stellar. This is a guy that's got a big yard per catch. He only had 84 targets, and he only caught 47 passes. I don't want a 25-year-old with straight line speed and not other abilities to juke, to make cuts, to do other things, who I'm worried that if his production goes up, and this is a guy you got to remember that has played in 95, 80, and 86% of the offensive snap counts over with the Indianapolis Colts. This is a guy that, yes, has the blazing speed. Yes, will get you those first downs. Will make that spectacular catch. But the problem is this. He has what we refer to as straight line speed. I can't pay a guy the money that he is going to want when George Pickens is out there, but I'm not going to pay George Pickens either. I'm not going to pay a guy that can run fast straight and will stretch the defense, but I'm not going to get those consistent plays out of. I'm not going to get his catch ratio, his catch percentage, his successful catch percentage was 53.8. So he caught 47% of the times he on a catchable ball, he did not catch it. Now, catchable ball could mean anything, but he did not catch it. You're talking about a 25-year-old that you're going to probably drop 20 plus million that has straight line speed and not much else. That to me is a scary proposition in regards to the words bust. Now, I was looking at, like I said, and if you look at the top NFL free agents in this coming class, and we looked at this before, and I want to get back to the draft a minute because I think there's players in the draft that I think people, I'm not going to say overlooked or overlooking, but there are wide receivers in the draft that I think can really fit the Giants, but not in the first round. And we've talked about a couple guys. Because like I said, if I'm going to spend money, George Pickens is fucking 24 years old. George Pickens with Dak Prescott had a career year. 1,429 yards, third in the league, 92 receptions, 8th in the league, 9 touchdowns, 8th in the league. Receiving first downs. Now, this is the other big one. Receiving first downs. Receiving first downs for Alex Pierce, he had 41. George Pickens had 73, which was 3rd in the league. If you're going to go after someone, you don't go after a guy that's got that is going after George Pickens is a Raider move. That is a Raider move. That is an Al Davis Raider move. Let me just get this guy with straight line speed and pray to God. And I'm not going to pay $20 million for Jennings coming out of San Francisco. I can't. That would be another craziness. For a short-term answer, the best player in my mind to teach this team how to be professional and work with Malik Neighbors would be going out and getting Mike Evans. But Mike Evans is not leaving Tampa. I've talked to numerous people around Tampa. That motherfucker's not leaving Tampa. He is not going anywhere. You know what nobody's talking about, though, in reference to running backs? And I thought about this. And I don't know if they're going to tag him. And his stock is kind of shot up just in time for free agency. And he had a hamstring and a shoulder injury that really fucked up his 2024 season. Is Travis Etienne coming out of Jacksonville? He can catch the ball. He can run the ball. Brilliant speed. He's got the moves. He's got the jukes. He's 26 years old. He's on 27. So, yeah, he's going to be on the downside. He's going to be on the downside of his career in a couple of years. But if you're looking for a 2-year short-term answer and some excitement to bring in this Giant offense to pair alongside of Jackson Dart, Travis Etienne that's a move. The other guy I like in free agency, if you're going to go for free agency, is Romeo Doubs. Now, listen, Romeo Doubs and I aren't friends because that fucking Guardian, you're going to wear the fucking Guardian helmet and you were on the hands team and you're in that first game in Chicago. You man up and you dive after that fucking ball that hits you right in the hands. I'm more concerned to look like it hit him in the ovaries. But he is a guy who can run routes when healthy. He is a guy. Romeo Doubs is a player, man. He is probably one of the best route runners that no one talks about in Romeo Doubs. He's a guy for the Giants that I wanted him and Quay Walker last year. Well, still would be this year because the final gun hasn't done yet. Him and Trey Walker last year were two of the guys that were on the trading block that I wanted the Giants to go after. I even said it, package Kayvon Thibodeau and a couple picks and get yourself Romeo Doubs and Quay Walker. I know both of them are unrestricted free agents, but they would have been solid additions to this team. What's up, Big Trenton? I just saw Big Trenton in the house. Jay, what's up? What's up, Big Joe? Tim, what do you think of any of our free agents having a soft market? I think it's possible. Wandell. I think Ellie Moore Fudd. I think he's going to get paid. I think he's going to get money somewhere. I think the market may be, to your point, Joe, I do think the market may be soft for Wandell because how many people want a 5'1" wide receiver? I know he's not 5'1". I know that. We represent the Lollipop Guild, the Lollipop Guild, the Lollipop Guild. We'd like to welcome you to Munchkin Land. Who wants that? Who's going to pay for that? Not me. I ain't paying for that. Salute to the chat. Big Trent's in his house. Thoughts on Caleb Downs? 5 for the Giants. No. Nope. You trade down for Caleb Downs. Why? Very simple. We've talked about this a million times before, my friend. You never take in the top 10 in regards to NFL talent in reference to positional value. You never take a safety. You never take a defensive tackle, and you never take a tight end. The last safety to go in the top 10 in the last bunch of years has been Jamal Adams. There is a reason, because positional value tells you I can get a guy with similar talent 2nd, 3rd, 4th round. Now, if you trade out of 5 and go down to, like, I would say between 9 and 12, yes, that would. Remember when everyone wanted Kyle Pitts? Oh, everyone says, Kyle Pitts, we need Kyle Pitts. I always hear about this. He's going to be this transitional tight end that is just going to transcend his talent. And I kept telling people, you don't take a tight end in the top 10. You don't. Because he is a good tight end, average at best. And it's not a fault to Caleb Downs. I think Caleb Downs could be, I personally have said it before, with Caleb Downs, I would make him more of a hybrid. Do a little quasi, Logan Ryan, put him in the box some of the time, let him play a little bit of linebacker, play a little bit of safety. But you can't take him. You can't take him in the top 10. You got a lot of people that have him going to either the Bengals at 10. And I've seen him down as low as 12 to the Dallas Cowboys because the positional value just is not there. Like wide receivers is a great positional value, but defensive end, great positional value, quarterback, great positional value, running back used to be a great positional value, but then they devalued the running back position, but now the running back position is coming back. Offensive left tackle, great pick you take in the top 10. That's what you do. That's what you do, and that's what you go after. We got to get to the super chat. For the super chat, because all super chats go to the Philadelphia Children's Hospital. Inside the game, Styles at 5. Draft physical freaks with good tape. Oh, Sonny Styles. I don't have anything wrong with Sonny Styles. I call Sonny Styles Sonny Spoon. And that's from the old Mario Van Peebles. And again, we're going to have people like James Williams are going to just be in love with Sonny Styles. Sonny Styles is the greatest. Wait, hold on. Sonny Styles is the greatest linebacker ever. You're going to have that because he's an Ohio State guy. Can I take Sonny Styles at 5? No. No, I cannot take Sonny at 5. 6'4", 243. He has the prototypical size for a linebacker that I love. He is a guy that, if you take a look at, is a freak. He is Sonny Styles is an athlete. I think we overuse that expression. He is a pure athlete, though. He is a pure athlete at 6'4", 243. His measurables are off the chart. If you are looking, and here's the problem, is you're probably going to put him as off the ball linebacker. And if you do that, what the fuck are you going to do with Bobby Okereke? Because I still don't want to get rid of Bobby Okereke because I cannot keep depleting my team of resources to bring in similar resources, but not similar. But Sonny Styles is a guy that he's got one. If you watched him play, and I actually have, I want to talk about wide receivers. I'm going to talk about linebackers on Monday because I got a lot to talk about the linebackers. But he has this rare combination as an off the ball linebacker to cover. And that's he's going to carry. You got a vertical tight end. You got like Pitts running a tight end. I got Sonny Styles. That's a vertical matchup I'm going to take. He's going to he's going to go after the option routes on reference to a running back. I'm not worried about that. Sideline to sideline range, which will make coordinators drool. Do a little Homer Simpson. He's a zone coverage guy. He's got football. He's football smart. And unlike Abdul Carter, this motherfucker can tackle in the open field. Now, he does get exposed at times. He does. If you watch him at Ohio State, he's like a fat kid at times. He's like a fat kid on a Twinkie sometimes in reference to biting with the play action. He's got to learn. He's one of those guys that kind of vacates his gap responsibilities and bites on the play action. If you want to get in technical terms. He's not going to give you much, I think, in the pass rush in the beginning because I don't really think he has much of a repartee. And he's only got he's only has 2 full seasons. People don't understand this. He's still learning. He's going to learn the nuances of gap integrity. He's going to learn about communication. He's going to learn about play recognition. He's going to flow to the ball better. But the problem with this is Sonny Styles has only got 2 full seasons under his belt as a linebacker. I can't take that at 5. I mean, you could take that at 5, but I can't take that at 5. Are you bullish on the 2026 Eagles, Trenton? Trenton, we don't care. Oh, Vernon Golston. I don't think it could be worse. I'm not going to say that because Vernon Golston is one of those things you don't talk about. You're a certain college fanatic. You don't talk about Vernon Golston. No. But he does. I'm not going to say he could be. Vernon Golston had off the chart measurables. Off the chart. Could he go down that path? Yeah, he could. Denny Dodd says,
King of the almost sack.
Says King of the almost sack, Julian Love getting a Lombardi trophy before JS. You know what's funny? Drew Lock, you forgot about. He's the backup quarterback for Seattle. Tommy DeVito is a backup quarterback for the Patriots. These are all guys that could be getting the Super Bowl ring. Either this should pain you as a Giant fan. Either Drew Lock or Tommy DeVito is getting the Super Bowl ring before anyone else. I'm just saying. Thoughts on Matt Nagy as a hire of the new Giants? Mega Giants 89. I like the Nagy hire. I've said it before. You got a guy that I think people and certain content creators have a misconception about because they're like, he doesn't call his own plays. Well, he called his own plays every year as the head coach outside of a short period of time in 2020 for the Chicago Bears. He called the plays for 2 Super Bowl champions with the Kansas City Chiefs. He's a guy that is a West Coast offense guy. He's a guy that you can run an offense with a quarterback that doesn't have a limited arm, but has a average NFL arm. He had success with Mitchell Trubisky, and I loved Marcus Wiley, I think it was, of the NFL Network, says, well, his quarterback rating for Mitchell Trubisky was terrible. And so was for Justin Fields. Well, he had Justin Fields during his rookie year. And evidently, we've seen now Justin Fields is just a bad quarterback. We always knew Mr. Trubisky was a bad quarterback, but he went to the playoffs twice with Mitchell Trubisky. Think about that. If you go to the playoffs twice with Mitchell Trubisky, they should build a fucking statue for you. Big T Brad says, hit that like button. Joe Ferry says, Eagles feel like they have a long-term dysfunction. I don't know, maybe wishful thinking. I do think the Eagles are going to take a huge drop this year. I do think the Eagles will take a huge serendipitous drop. And I'm only saying that because of the fact, and I'm not saying that to piss off Trenton. I'm only saying that because of the fact that I just think it's time. What they did in the 2026 season, they did with mirrors. I'm still not sure to this day how they did what they did in the NFC East. Or just, I shouldn't even say the NFC. I understand how they did in the NFC East, but I don't understand how they did it just in the league in general. They truly, in my mind, did this with fucking mirrors. And I do think you're going to run to a part now where we see that we're looking at this and we're going to be like, okay, something's just not right here. And I do think that they are going to take one of those big drops into, I'm going to say, into a little bit into mediocrity for this team. I don't know if Dallas is going to step up. I think Washington's will have to be improved because of the fact that they're like the Giants. You figure a 4-win team and a 5-win team immediately have to be improved. But I do see a big drop in reference to these guys. I do see a big drop. Is Tyson? Oh, here we go. Is Jordan Tyson totally boomer bust? I don't think Tyson, like I said, I do not see much of a difference between Tate and Tyson. I really don't. It's one of those things. And now what could happen is it's like when you had people that thought, well, I don't really see much of a difference between Ryan Leaf and Peyton Manning. And we all know what happened there. But you're talking about two guys that are eerily similar in size and speed. You know, I do think that Tate, no, I'm going to say, I think that Tyson, in my mind, is a more polished receiver at times in reference to route running ability. But I think if you're looking at someone with just pure athleticism and ability, you gotta look at Tate. And I'm not saying that Tate cannot be a solid route runner. I'm not saying that whatsoever, but I do think Tyson is a little bit more of a polished route runner. And I think, and it's not as important, but I also do think that Tate has a problem, and I don't want to say it's a problem. I want to say it's a willingness to block at times. And I think that physical corners, long corners that you play in your own division may get a little handsy with him and knock him around. And I just, one of the things that just scares me about Tate a little bit is the fact that I think he's smaller than he is. We're going to find out once we get outside college measurements. We've talked this before, and I've talked this a billion times before. I love college measurements because evidently college is the one place that you fucking go where you all of a sudden learn how not to measure. Because everyone in college is 6'4", 250. And then they get out and they go to the combine and they go 5'11", 190. I think that Tate is more of a slighter frame, not as small as Devontae Smith. But I do think he's going to have to really work at times to get off the line. I do think that he's going to get jammed up. He's not going to be a Jalen Hyatt, but I do think he's going to get jammed up at times. There's also a guy that, like I said, he's got a little bit of a lean frame, and He missed 3 games last year with a calf strain. I think that if you're looking at more of a, like I said, in my mind, like I said, it's one half dozen another right now, because once you leave college, you've left college. I kind of like Tyson a little bit more in difference in the way he plays. Now, I know this is a guy that bounced around from like, everyone's like, I love when people are like, well, he went to 3 different high schools. Yeah, I don't fucking care about that. It's college, but the guy is a nasty route runner. That's the one thing I really like about Jordan Tyson. He runs fucking routes. He runs routes. And he's got a 67% contested catch ratio. But that was in 2024. But this is a guy, when it's a contested catch, you throw it up in the endo, this motherfucker is a dog. He goes and gets it. And like I said, if you're looking for a guy who can sell the vertical route and then break underneath, I think you got to look at Jordan Tyson. Doesn't his brother play in the NBA? Is it Tyson, or whose brother plays in the NBA? Is it Tyson or Tate? Someone's brother plays in the NBA. I don't know I don't think one has to do with another, but like I said, this is a guy that's got plus hands. This is a guy that can sell the route. Now, listen, I'm not going to lie to you. He had 12 drops across 2022 to 2024. He had 12 drops. I don't think that is a hands issue. And I'm not going to lie to you, because I never lie to you. I think it's a focus issue. I don't think he's got the hands. He's got fucking oven mitts. But I think it's more of a focus issue. He's another guy that, like I said, he's got more of a slider frame. And I think again with like Tate, physical corners, I think they're going to get handsy. And this guy is, and the biggest concern I have about Tyson is the fact that I think he's got, if you want to call it a red flag, he's got some medical issues. He had a knee in 2022. He had a collarbone in 24, and he had a hamstring in 25. I think if you are a team physician, there might be a lot of tape involved. I would go out and potentially get some stock in tape, medical tape, because I worry that he is going to have. So maybe Joe Ferris is right. Maybe he is a boomer. Now, Joe, fuck you, man. Now you got me thinking. Maybe he is a boomer bust. I like the Greg Homer hire. Run game should be much improved next year. Yeah, your offensive line is going to improve your run game, my brother. Let's see. Better player, Sonny Styles, Reese. Which player would be better? Reese is a better fit for the Giants. Reese is the best fit for the Giants. And I've said this before. I don't want to get into the linebackers because I want to do a whole show about the linebackers, because there are guys out there, and we jokingly talked about the linebackers. And my favorite linebacker, of course, Jacob Rodriguez. I don't care anything else about Jacob Rodriguez. I just want the hair and the fucking mustache. I don't care if Jacob Rodriguez is any good. I just want the hair and the mustache. But there are guys, like I said, I would take David. Why is nobody talking about David Bailey? And I don't want to get into this, but why is nobody talking about David Bailey? Texas Tech. I think David Bailey's better than Sonny Styles. I think David Bailey's better than CJ Allen. I like David Bailey, but we need to talk about David Bailey. 250 pounds, 6'3". I think if you take a look at him at times, and you take a look at him in Reese, I think if you would have put David Bailey on Ohio State, we would be talking about him like he was the greatest coming since sliced bread. And I love it because people are like, well, I love some Scott. His frame is maxed out at 250. Yeah, I want my linebacker around 240, 245. So I think he needs to lose weight. But his strength is he can anchor your run game. He can anchor. He gets a little over aggressive. That's all right, though. I like guys with over-aggressiveness. He doesn't get lost. He's my favorite thing again. He's a freak athlete, and he doesn't get fucking lost in the sauce. He's going to surprise a lot of people. One of the knocks against David Bailey is they have coverage concerns. I think he is going to be an instinctive coverage guy. I think there's things that you do in college that they will ask you to do in the pros that are totally different. I think David Bailey's going to excel in the pros in reference to coverage. But don't sleep on David Bailey, guys. Don't sleep on him right now. And I'm going to tell you right now, I've already said it before. If I'm going to grab a guy later in the second, third, or fourth round, Josiah Trotter, Jeremiah Trotter's kid, is the guy I would take. If you want to watch a linebacker who can just blanket the rushing lanes, if you want to watch a game, go watch the South Carolina game from this kid. You want to watch a guy that flows to the ball? We've said it before, can play 2 yards off the line of scrimmage and does not get lost in the sauce and attacks with violence. And as a guy that, one of these players that, I don't know, wraps up and tackles, Josiah Trotter is the guy you need to look at. Now, I think he could be a good pass rusher. He just hasn't shown it and effective to his ability. And I think that's going to hurt his draft stock because everyone wants a guy that can rush the passer. And a lot of people say, well, he's got small arms. He's got the Tyrannosaurus Rex arms. I don't care. And they're going to tell you that he lacks true sideline to sideline range and speed, that he's more explosive in short areas. I want him in the middle of the fucking field. I don't need him running from sideline to sideline. If you're going to play a base 3-4 like Denard Wilson played in Tennessee, and you're going to have two undersized defensive ends and a defensive tackle in Dexter Lawrence, who hasn't been great at stopping the run, I want a motherfucker that can play 2 yards off the ball and play in a 10-yard area and flow to the ball, feng shui the shit. That's what I want. I want a lot of things. All I want for Christmas is my 2 front teeth. Andrew, what's up, Andrew? Thank you for the super chat. All super chats good to Philadelphia Children's Hospital. How good is our new O-line coach? I think your O-line coach is as good as your talent, if you want me to be 100% honest. I think there's bad O-line coaches. I think there's good O-line coaches. He's a disciple of Bill, what's his name, Bill Callahan. You know, he is a guy that has experience. Wasn't he the head coach over at Rice and Sanford? I believe he was. I think he's a guy that I just think that people just get so enamored by looking at these positions. He came into the league in 2007, working for the Jets. Now don't fault him because he worked for Eric Mangini. He's a big dude. I love when we have guys that are defensive line coaches that are big guys. I like the big guys because they understand, like I said, they understand the big guy trait. He worked with Christian McCaffrey, watched him go. He was head coach at Rice. He was 24-52, but of course it was at Rice. I think he's a solid showing with the Giants. I think he can work well with Thomas. I don't know about who else we're going to bring back, but I think he is another good fit. The biggest vacancy that we need to worry about right now is the quarterback coach. We still don't have a quarterback coach because all this team, Anthony Munoz, love Anthony Munoz, just love the name, Anthony Munoz Jr. In 5 years, Tim, who has more subscribers, Tim or McLovin?
I am McLovin.
Well, Ryan's Big Blue Podcast, I think, has 600 subscribers. I think I have 12,000 something. I don't know. I'm probably not gonna be around in 5 years. I don't really plan on. It's not that I don't love doing Giant stuff now, because I think Giant stuff is great now. But I'm probably not gonna be around in 5 years, to be honest. If you want me to be honest, I'm probably not gonna be here. And like I said, it don't matter to me. I'm probably this year. Jacob Rodriguez looks like a linebacker from the 70s. He does. Jacoby Lane, Denzel Boston, sleepers. Today, college football produces a shitload of wide receivers. You can find them all you need to. Thank you. And that's what I wanted to get to real quick. You take a look at this. You could, there is, like, I like the kids, like I said, I like the kid Fields from Notre Dame. 6'4", 218, big body target. What's his name? I like Lane out of USC. There are so many guys. I love Chris Bell out of Louisville. I love Chris Bell out of Louisville. I'm going to tell you why. 6'2", 220 pounds. If you play Madden, to me, he has the X factor. He has that guy that is built like he's built like a fucking fire hydrant. If you ever look at him, you look at him and say, "That no way this motherfucker." And then I'm kind of curious too to see how he measured out coming down the combine. But there's no way this motherfucker's 6'2", 220 pounds. He's probably like 5'11", 230. But he runs a 4.44. He's got speed. You want someone that's going to split the you want to watch a fire hydrant split the defense? That's the guy you go after. And if Bell catches, if you ever watch any Louisville games, and I watch a lot of games, so, but if you watch this guy after the catch in Bell, you watch what he does. It's like he hits the X factor. You hit the X factor button in Madden, and he does all this stuff, and you're like, he's not a Kadarius Pinball Tony, but he is a guy that once he gets the ball in open field, he is special. He is different. He transforms into like an Autobot. And he just does something special. Now, here's the problem. And this is why I brought up Kadarius Toney. His route tree out of Louisville, because of Louisville's scheme and their production, was not, what's a nice way to put it, was not very deep. If you watch Louisville, it's vertical shots, intermediate crossing patterns, and that's really it. There was probably, but you're going to have a good wide receiver coach. But if you want a guy that's this weird combination, 6'2", 220, that run a 4.4, then, and like I said, I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried about anyone getting handsy with Bell. No, and I think you grab Bell. You can probably get him in third, fourth round. And he comes from Yazoo City. Great football name. Where'd you come? It comes from I come from Wazoo City. Harbaugh's definitely getting a middle linebacker in free agency. I would love for the Giants to get Quay Walker in free agency. I would love for the Giants to get Quay. Quay Walker to me is he's a combination of Blake Martinez and Bobby Okereke. He's got the natural instincts of Bobby Okereke at times in the run, and he's got the natural ability to flow through the traffic like Blake Martinez had close to the line of scrimmage. He is a hellacious tackler. He is a guy that if you are a football coach of a high school team or a Pop Warner team, hell, even a college team, you want to take the film of Quay Walker in regards to tackling and put that on your iPads and say, this is what you do. This is what you need to do. Mike Lee says, doubt this happens, but Reese or an O-line. I still said the O-line to me makes the most sense, but I don't think they're going to go O-line. I would go O-line. I think it's Tim. It's Tim out in front now. It doesn't matter to me. It really doesn't. I've always told people this: subscriber counts, likes, views, all that don't mean shit to me. Literally, that means shit. Reaching the audience and talking to people and getting your guys' opinions, that means everything in the world to me. We drafted Amani Toomey years ago, who was tall. Yeah, I don't mind Herschel. I don't mind a tall wide receiver. I think a tall wide receiver is great. Yes, actually, record-wise, think we might go 10-7, 7-6, but the offense will be better. That's not saying much, my brother. That's not saying much. But the offense is going to get better. Joe Ferry says, can't really release Banks. His money is guaranteed. That is I've said this before. I'm not releasing Banks. I am not releasing Banks. I am not panicking on Paulson Adebo, even though people should, because he's got 36 guaranteed. Well, he's got 24 guaranteed now. I'm not panicking yet because of the fact of who we brought in, Denard Wilson, and who has made so many other corners better. So I'm not panicking on those two guys. If anything, I could see a renaissance. I could see a virtual, a renaissance between those two players, a resurrection. I could see that between those. I could see that right now between these guys, and Paulson Adebo and our old buddy Banks. Because of the fact that you are bringing in a guy, and this is why I think it was the smartest thing ever in reference to John Harbaugh bringing these guys in, because it just makes sense. Because all Denard Wilson has done is go places and make people better, and make his the people under his tutelage much better. You know what? It's going to be a renaissance. Come on, everyone. It's the Paulson Adebo, Tay Banks, Drew Phillips renaissance. Raise your hands, brother. Come on. Let's go. We're going to see it happen. 2026. 2026. Do you think they tag Van or Cordell? I think you might tag both. I think you might. How fucked up is that? I buy a 30-pack at the time now. We always buy a 30-pack. What you do? What do we got here? Anthony Munoz. I like Anthony Munoz. I'm going to make sure I get to... here we go. Thoughts on Micah McFadden. My thoughts are he ain't going to be here. Unless Micah McFadden can figure out how to stay healthy and how to tackle. I mean, I can't. This is a guy that's got almost 13% or 13 point, almost 14% missed tackle percentage. And the more he plays, the more tackles he misses. If you go back and look, I can't. He's a good player, but he is a guy that should be a 4th to 5th linebacker on a good team. Joe Ferry says, Tim, if you had to hang out with Kadarius Toney in your hometown for a day, what would you like to do with him? Yard work. I don't know. I need help shoveling snow. Does that help any? But yeah, I could see. Let's see. Mike Lee says, I think Banks and issues in the system. He is more of a wink guy, and that his skills will shine. I'm gonna put the link in the chat here, guys, because that's just what I do. And I think T-Brad's out there. I think Big James is out there. We'll see Trenton to see if he didn't run out to church yet. But we're gonna pick the link. I see that. I see it happening. I see the pendulum swinging back for Banks. Is he going to be that special player that we thought when we traded up one spot to get him, and the team we leapfrog didn't even take a corner in the entire draft? I don't know, but that was the venerable Joe Shane. This isn't Joe Shane anymore, people. This is not your Joe Shane Giants anymore. This is your New York Football John Harbaugh Giants. And that's what we're gonna have to look at. You know what we're gonna have to look at right now? Right now, we're gonna take a look at the mighty FanDuel. It's FanDuel.com, the #1 sports book in America. You know what you need to do with FanDuel? You need to go out there right now, because new customers bet $5, get $200 in bonus bets if you win, if you join the sports book. Right now, the Patriots. I'm still telling you guys, I'm taking the Pats. I'm taking the Pats in the 4.5. I think Seattle wins because it's just a way to fuck up with the Jet fans. But I think Seattle wins, but I don't think they win by more than a point. I'm going to give you a fun little parlay here, right? Another fun little 4-leg parlay. I'm going to give you Stevenson a touchdown anytime. Drake May 1 touchdown pass during this game. We're going to give you Jackson Smith 80-plus yards in this game. We're going to give you Kenneth Walker 80 yards total, rushing and receiving. A $10 wager on that gets you a $51 payout. I've already said this before. I am one leg away from winning $180,000. I did a 4-leg parlay across multitudes of sports. My last one that I'm waiting on right now is the Boston Celtics to win the NBA Finals. I hit that $108,000. The channel will blow up. The channel will be huge. Because I will take that money, I'll take part of that money, and I will build a studio somewhere. I will have guests in studio. I will do all these things. I am one parlay away on the Mighty FanDuel from winning $108,000. Don't forget right now, $6 million touchdown jackpot. Use your tokens on FanDuel to place any touchdown wager on the Super Bowl. If your player scores the first or last touchdown, get a share of $6 million in bonus bets. That's $3 million for first touchdown, $3 million for the last touchdown. That's also on the mightyfanduel.com. FanDuel.com, the number one sports book in America. We love the FanDuel. We've told you, go out there right now. I have the FanDuel app. I love my FanDuel app. I love everything about it. If you're seriously, if you just have like to have fun betting, I think FanDuel is a fun thing to do when you're just, I think it's more interesting, of course, to watch the games, but don't forget to, as they always say, don't forget to game responsibly or bet responsibly. But I love it. I love hanging out with the Mighty FanDuel. And like I said, I would take the Pats in the 4.5. I got another 4-leg parlay coming up right now. And also the FanDuel's got the casino games. They got fantasy. They got betting. They got sportsbook. They got everything. I love the huff and puff game. Yes, I'm an old man. I like to watch spin. I like to watch the thing spin. And if you sign up now, new players get $500 in bonus spins. Plus, get up to $1,000 back in casino bonuses. And that's FanDuel.com, the number one sportsbook in America. Oh, what's up, Omega? But Tim, you're a Knicks fan. You placed the Boston Celtics, those damn leprechauns. Did you ever see the movie with Daniel Stern and Dan Aykroyd's Celtic Pride? And you'll know why I took the Boston Celtics. Because, yes, I will win $108,000 if the Boston Celtics win. But that $108,000 means nothing unless there is a championship from the Knicks. I would take the $100,000 loss to have a Knicks championship. So like in the movie Celtics Pride, when they were saying that they were rooting for the Utah Jazz, that's what I'm doing because they were the bad luck guys. I think I'm the bad luck guys. And as soon as I placed the bet, what did we do? We won 8 in a row. Just saying. I can buy a decent car on Craigslist and go to the Super Bowl. We'll go for it. Here, my brother. I didn't even, I was so excited I didn't even wait.
I was going to say, whoa. Did not even set up here. I didn't even have my sip yet.
There's no setup here because, like everything else, James is in the house. We're so excited. Oh, I only have one arm now. I only have one arm now. But James Williams looks like he just woke up. Is it Coors? Oh, it is 11. It's 11:13.
It's past 11.
It's past 11. It's past 11 right now. Are you sold on Ben Souls, or would you bring competition for the kicker this offseason? I'm not sold on anyone. I'm
not sold on anybody.
I'm not sold on anyone because you know what? I want the hardball to come in because, as you know, James, the season ends at the final gun.
Yes.
The season 5, because people keep talking about 26. I'm like, we're not done with 25 yet. We still have to get over the Super Bowl.
Yes, we're still sweeping some leaves out. Yes.
Yeah, and if you take a look, we'll be when we end the season, at the firing of the gun, we're 6 weeks away from free agency. How crazy is that? I mean, used to be, it seemed like we had this dearth in reference to everything that's going on and us waiting for doing things, but we are literally 6 weeks away from free agency once the season ends tonight.
I think it's really crazy also that we just today is Super Bowl Sunday, and you know, this has probably been one of the quietest media weeks I've ever had in my lifetime leading up to a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
It's just, things are just different now. But yeah, free agency will be here before we know it. But like you said, we got to finish off this old season before we can go into the new fresh with Coach Ball. That's what we'll call him, Coach Ball.
Well, you figure what's today? Today's the 8th.
Mm-hmm.
So you literally, it's the 8th, the 17th, that at 4 p.m. That's when clubs can start designating franchise tags or transition player tags. And that starts at 4, and that runs through March 3rd. Then you have the scouting combine from the February 23rd to March 2nd. And then players like the deadline to designate people is January 3rd. And then technically between March 9th and 11th, that's when you're able to enter in, and negotiate some contracts and players and things. I mean, the league year just comes out crazy. And technically the league year starts and free agency signing starts on March 11th. It's insane that we don't have any type of offseason anymore.
No, there's no breaks, which is kind of weird, to get away from just, there's always something to think about or plan ahead. That's why it's important to have good people in management and coaching spots so they can do the work. Everything we're talking about, they should have already been talking about, long before us.
Well, you think that you think they have. You hope they have.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I know this regime. Yes. This time I feel confident that we're actually going into this off season back to the on season with the right mindset for once. I actually feel pretty good about that.
You're we'll say a rabid at times Ohio State fan.
Some would say.
Some would say that. So you would have a good perspective on, Mr. Tate. Actually, I probably wouldn't say you would have a good perspective. I would say you might have.
I was gonna say no. Don't say word. Yeah. Word.
I had to phrase that as you might have a slanted perspective on Tate.
Probably.
You're the Giants sitting at 5. Tate's available. You have a dearth of talent in the wide receiver room. You have a star coming off an injury. You got a midget that some people want to bring back. But like I said, I think the Lollipop Guild and Munchkin Land may be calling him back over there to Oz. Do you some people, like I said, some people have Tate number 1. Some people have Tyson number 1. I think they're interchangeable. I think it's 1A, 1B, but I do think that, you have to be more concerned about Tyson's injuries that he's occurred since 2022. Do you take Tate? Do you, and you could give me the perspective from the Ohio State fan perspective and then the Giant fan perspective. But do you see Tate at 5 and go, you know what? With everyone else off the board, let's say Reese is off the board. Let's say, the big guy out of Francis out of Miami's off the board. Do you grab Tate at 5?
No.
Oh, okay.
I don't. No.
Wow.
I think T-Brad was saying something about it. Of course, he's a Michigan guy, but in this case, he's 1,000% right, as he usually is with his football analysis. That we don't need to do that. If we were, I don't even know of another team that's in the top 10, but off the top of the head right now. But in our position right now, where we are, we don't need to take a wide receiver at top 5. There's other positions of need, of higher value to me. Again, it's not sexy. Last time I was on here, we were talking about what's not sexy, but what's practical. Offensive line, definitely in the top 5, you can get a high quality offensive lineman, even another defensive lineman, not necessarily an end, maybe a tackle, but there are higher value positions for the spot that we're at over than a wide receiver. I don't want to be like the Detroit Lions taking wide receivers in the top 10 multiple years. We don't need to do that.
You don't want Carlos Rogers and Mike Williams?
Yeah. And honestly, there's a lot of wide receivers in this draft, to go to the Wandell point, that, you can get a quality wide receiver in round 2
or
in
three.
this year's draft, or 3 if you do your. Do we have a 3rd round pick?
I think we have one, don't we? I know we got rid of the extra one. I don't know if we have a third. Do we have a 3rd round pick?
Because I think Brother T. Brad was saying we don't. I didn't double check it, but like I said, he's usually on point. So
I'm gonna pull that up. I'm gonna pull that right up now. We have. Yeah, we have. Well, no, you're right. We don't. We have the 5th pick, 37th. We only have 3 picks in the first 100 picks. Thanks, Joe. Shane.
okay.
Thanks, Joe.
So
everyone say thanks, Joe. Thanks, Joe.
Thanks, Joe.
Yeah. So we have the 5th, the 37th, 105, 143, 186, 190, 191. We don't have a 7th either, but we have 2 6ths, 1 5th, 1 4th. Yeah, we don't have a 3rd. Yeah.
Okay. So again, we don't need to waste one of our higher picks on a wide receiver. We just don't.
I didn't even look at that because I haven't done the draft show yet, but that kind of changes my perspective.
I figured it would.
That we only have 3 picks in the first 105. That's got to change your perspective. Wow, this is
It should. Not for you, but for other fans who probably didn't know that or realize it. Like
I didn't know that. Yeah, right here. 2 picks in the first 100. That's how we got Dart. You're right.
Oh, that's right. The infamous we had to move up to grab him before somebody else did. Yeah.
I don't care that he plays safety. Lowndes is elite prospect. Tate is a project at 2. He's going to need game changers. No, I don't think Tate is a prospect at 2. And I think
no, he's a draft and plug in and play. He can do that.
He's a draft. I don't think he's that. And I think that I do care about because and it's not bad, but Downs reminds me of Kyle Hamilton. I don't know.
Okay.
If you want me to be honest, don't forget the like button, guys. If we don't hit the like button, I can't play because Mrs. Online Big Blue already said, "Oh my God, who the hell is this? Who's this motherfucker?"
Change that green.
Oh, there he goes.
Who's this motherfucker? Look at
that green screen.
I can't. The camera got fucked up. I can't. I wish I could. What's up, the mighty team?
Not much. How y'all been? How y'all been, brothers?
We're good. Evidently, T-Brad disappeared because he was
T-Brad's looking cool wherever he is.
He was so upset about the Giants and John Harbaugh. He quit.
No, I am coming back from Washington, D.C., Young Workers March on Washington, first ever. So, yeah, feeling good. Yeah, we haven't talked since we got a new coach.
No, you haven't been on since the mighty Joe Shane.
I mean, you guys have been on. I just haven't been on.
That's true.
Yeah, I'm happy with pretty much all the moves they made this whole season. I like the Nagy pick. I like the Harbaugh pick, especially with some of the people who wanted Stefanski. Like, I don't even question. Like, are you even Giants fans if you wanted Kevin Stefanski? I don't even get that.
I have a question. I haven't talked to you, so I got a question to you about that. So
let's run it.
Giant fans, some Giant fans, not me, hated the Nagy pick. But Nagy went to the playoffs twice and was coach of the year once and won with Mitchell Trubisky. Now, people were creaming themselves over Kevin Stefanski before we got Harbaugh. Now, Stefanski only had 2 wins in 6 seasons and won 2 coaches of the year and made a mess out of his quarterback situation. And explain that to me, how people could want him as the head coach and are bitching that Nagy, who was called all of his plays in Chicago except for a short period of time in 2020, and was the offensive coordinator of 2 Super Bowl teams with the Kansas City Chiefs. I don't get it. Explain it to me. How could people be upset with that?
Tim, you're asking me to explain stupidity, and I really can't because I'm not stupid. I don't speak fluent stupidity. I can recognize it. Like, I can recognize the difference between Spanish and Portuguese, but I can't speak either one of them fluently. But yeah, I can recognize stupidity. I damn sure can't explain it though.
Okay.
And when you were doing that stream, I wanted to get on that day, but I had something going on. I was like, yeah, I don't understand why everybody was like, oh my God, we got Nagy. I was like, you got a quarterback coach who's also been a head coach to help a veteran head coach develop your young quarterback. And people are like, oh, he doesn't develop young quarterbacks. Well, these are the 2 quarterbacks he had to develop. Justin Fields.
1 year.
Who no one could develop.
Nope.
And I like Justin Fields. Don't get me wrong. I like Justin
That's
Fields.
what the Steelers and the Jets did.
And Trubisky, who no one could coach up. So you're giving me two people who weren't really good quarterbacks to begin with. So
And Trubisky's entire career fell off the planet as soon as he left the Bears.
Exactly. So if you give me Nagy and if Jackson Dart is all the things people think he's going to be, I believe that Matt Nagy can get that out of him. I like Jackson Dart. I like him.
And Matt Nagy runs a West Coast offense that is perfect, and he loves scrambling, pocket moving quarterbacks, and you don't have to have a big arm in Matt Nagy's offense. He's perfect for, and I keep telling people, I'm not even a Jackson Dart fan. He's perfect for Jackson Dart.
That's what I feel like. If anybody's going to get the most out of him, it's him. Like, I heard names like Kingsbury, and I wasn't really too hell bent on, oh my God, it's got to be this offense coordinator. But when you finally got the call of who it was going to be, I was like, oh hell yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
I mean, he's only been working with, that guy in Kansas City. What's his name? What's this guy in Kansas City?
Homies.
Homies.
Something.
Homies.
Yeah.
Something.
He's been working with that guy. Yeah. Patrick something. Yeah. Yeah, I just know him from the commercials. But yeah, I think that guy's a pretty good quarterback. And when you work around Andy Reid, you work around that type of energy, you know how to prepare for the game. You know how to get things done on that level. So you're preparing Jackson Dart for a level he's never even seen. So it's very rare that I like what's going on in the offseason. This is about the most excited I've been in the last 8 years. Based on our offseason. We still got Joe Dummy Shane in there, but at the same time, John Harbaugh is there to offset the stupidity.
But Joe Shane, like I said, the final say is Harbaugh, because he doesn't report to Joe Shane. He reports to the owner. He reports to Mara.
And I love it. I love it. So
I think
I'm
that's.
just hoping we get like Linderbaum and Alec Pierce.
Why do you want?
We got the money for him.
We don't. But why do you want Alex Pierce?
Because I totally disagree with what you said earlier about him. I agree. The bust possibility is there. I'm not trying to get the next. I'm not trying to get the next Galladay.
I know, but you're gonna have to pay this guy like he's a top wide, like he's George Pickens. But has his catch percentage gone down as his production, as his catch targets have gone up? Yes.
Well, let's be fair.
Is he a guy that? Is he a guy?
Let's be fair. Who's throwing him the ball?
Is he a guy that is known for route running? No, he is a guy that is known for straight line speed and who can stretch the defenses. That sounds like that perfect, Al Davis Raider guy.
No, I can't do him like that. He's a guy. First of all, he has height. He's got size. We don't have any size. We love the 6 foot and under wide receivers. Right?
Greg Oden had height and size in the NBA.
It's not basketball. But
Kenny G had height and size on the Giants.
But Kenny G still doesn't play like Alec Pierce. So when you get Alec,
Kenny G had 2,000-yard receiving seasons.
But Kenny G was brought here to do what? To be a number one wide receiver. We're not asking Alec Pierce to come in and be a number one.
We're
asking him to come and be a number two.
Wide receiver money and ask him to be a 2. I need him to be a 1B.
No, I don't look at it that way. I look at him, but see, Alec Pierce is somebody who can be the one if Neighbors goes down. That's what I like about Alec Pierce. If Neighbors goes down, it's like, oh my God. Because by us getting him, if we get Alec Pierce, that means we don't have to waste our first 2 picks on a wide receiver. Now, maybe in the 4th round we have one, but I definitely believe the Giants need to go address one running back. I do like that Travis Etienne pick you were talking about. We definitely need to address running back. But wide receiver?
Who's a better wide receiver, Michael Pittman or Alex Pierce?
Michael Pittman or Alex Pierce? Michael Pittman.
Okay, they were both on the Indianapolis Colts last year. So you're saying that Michael Pittman, who is a more polished route runner, who has more production throughout his entire career, is a better wide receiver than the guy that you want to bring in. You're going to have to give wide receiver 1 money to be a second wide receiver on the Giants. That's a Joe Shane. That to me, I'm not picking on you, man. That's a Joe Shane move.
It sounds that way, but when I look at a team like Cincinnati, who has literally that same type of problem when they have a Jamar Chase and a T. Higgins, that's a problem I like to have. I don't want us to have to go into this season with whoever, like you pick like a Romeo Dobbs and whatever wide receiver we get late, and then all of a sudden, let's say Neighbors goes down again. Well, there goes our offense. We're all done. I don't want that. I want Alec Pierce there. I want Neighbors there. We get a young person to come in and play the slot or whatever. I'm cool, but I need somebody who's going to be able, so we don't turn our quarterback into a one-read quarterback. Like if Neighbors isn't open, what the hell are we doing? I want that offense to be opened up. And if we're going to run
here's my question for you right off the bat. Who would you rather have, Alex Pierce or George Pickens?
On talent, George Pickens, but attitude-wise, I don't know if Pickens fits in with New York. That's just being honest.
Does Malik Neighbors? Wait, does Malik? I knew you were going to go there. Does Malik Neighbors fit in New York?
Absolutely. That's why we're going to trade him. If we are losing, and he is as the way he is, which I have no problem with the way the young man is, but if he's the way he is and we're losing, and he's speaking his mind, the Giants are just going to get rid of him. They're going to trade him.
But you don't want a guy out of Georgia who has the same talent, the same mindset, and the same openness as George Pickens, because you're worried the Giants are going to get rid of Malik Neighbors.
Wait a minute. Time out. If you're asking me straight up who I would rather have, me as a fan, I'd rather have Pickens, but I can't ignore the reality of this could blow up quick, fast. Because you get one wide receiver who's boisterous and doesn't mind speaking his mind, and you pair him with another wide receiver who's the same way, you add the conservative New York Giants fan base. If we're not winning, every single drop is a trade him drop. Oh my God, George Pickens dropped that pass. We need to trade him. Here's
where I disagree. If you have a Joe Judge as a head coach, I agree. If you have a McAdoo as a head coach, I agree. You have a Brian Daboll as a head coach, I agree. You have John Harbaugh. You have a Super Bowl winning head coach with an 18-year pedigree and has worked with people like Deion Sanders. He has worked with people like Steve Smith Jr., who has had people who has worked with a certain running back who's known to be a little truculent, and has worked with all these guys and has had success.
I'm not talking about Harbaugh. I'm talking about the stupidity that is the Giants' conservative fan base. I'm not saying that Harbaugh can't make it work. If you ask me, hey,
I don't think they care about the fan base. I mean, I think they care about the fan base, but I don't think they care about. I don't think Harbaugh is a guy that sits there and cares. Bill from Connecticut is going to be upset with me because we do this.
But winning solves everything.
Exactly.
So I get it.
It does.
The best chance for us to win, if we're going to pay the money and the money's going to be similar, I'd much rather spend that money on Pickens than I would Pierce, because Pickens is definitely more of a number one wide receiver. But I also like, if Tomlin couldn't get him under control, can Harbaugh get him under control? You know what I'm saying?
That's a good point. That's a good point.
It's something you have to look at. And you get two wide receivers, alpha wide receivers together, it can really turn things to the point where, like, man, we're going to have to trade these guys. I can't just get them under control.
Could Tomlin get Antonio Pierce under? Could Tomlin get Antonio Pierce under control?
I mean, Antonio Brown?
Antonio Brown.
Antonio-
Could he get him under control? Could he get Juju
Only
Schuster
person
under
who could get
control? There are so many
Juju
Pittsburgh
Schuster.
Juju Schuster's got a couple rings and has a couple 1,000-yard seasons.
He definitely corralled Antonio Brown for a while. I'll say that.
What about Bell, the running back?
Yeah,
Could
I'm
he
about
get
to say.
Bell, the running back, under control?
Nah, he had all of them under control. They just Le'Veon Bell wanted money.
Yeah, and that's what George Pickens is.
Tomlin don't control the money.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He gonna want his money.
If one guy wants if Pickens is going to be $2 million more a year than Alex Pierce, and Alex Pierce has the potential to be a bust, I'm paying the $2 million and getting the known commodity and having a 1A, 1B, and then getting a tight end like Isaiah Likely, building a running game, maybe grabbing someone like Love in the draft, because now that we only have 3 picks in the top 105, and then I've literally I've built my entire offense for Matt Nagy.
I mean, here's the thing. That's a way to go about it. I personally, with a team that's broke, I have no problem paying $2 million less and getting an Alec Pierce type player. I don't have a problem with it. He can go up and get the difficult balls. He can go up and get the high, the high throws and things of that nature. But we still have to go. We still have to draft a wide receiver. Because somebody's Slayton starting is a bad. Darius Slayton in the starting lineup is bad for the New York Giants.
Philosopher, coming on in, dropping some philosopher knowledge. Everyone's got to hit the like button. We only got 37 likes. I need at least 45 likes, or I won't be able to stream tomorrow. Philosopher, explain to these people how we don't need Alex Pierce. Just explain them.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning, brother.
Yeah, man. I don't know, man. I don't really like Alec Pierce like that. He's a good player, but I don't really like him like that. I don't want to allocate any more salary cap towards a receiver at this point. Obviously, I would rather draft one, but I think if we draft one at 5, it's a little bit too rich for me, unless it's a player of the caliber of a Malik Neighbors. And I don't know if Carnell Tate is quite that, because I saw games with Ohio State where he disappeared throughout the playoffs. I'm going to keep it 1,000. They was throwing it to Jeremiah Smith. They wasn't really throwing it to him. So, if you disappear in big games, I get a little worried about you, because I'm like, man, that was college. This a whole nother level.
Hold on one second.
I like Carnell Tate.
You're totally wrong, man. You're not right. He's 100% a wide receiver.
Oh man,
James, defend your man. Defend Tate. Come on.
What do you mean? He's right. He definitely disappeared in a couple of big games this year.
Talk about it being the weather or something.
Nah, you know what? I'll say this real quick. To T. Brad's point about the Alec Pierce is, look who's been his quarterback the last 3 years. And Alex Pierce, he ain't getting thrown through by, Phillip Rivers.
I was like,
he's pretty good, but 50-year-old Phillip Rivers, come on, off the couch, and Daniel Jones last year. That's kind of crazy.
No, Phillip Rivers was his quarterback a couple years ago, wasn't he?
Yeah, but he was washed up.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, look who's been his quarterback the last 2 or 3 years, and he's still productive. The whole problem with it is, if we didn't have the Slayton arbitrage contract, then the Pierce thing, even Pickens would seem a lot more easier to digest. But, we've got that hanging over us, and we've got half the fan base wanting to keep Papa Smurf. So, but the Alec Pierce thing is not as crazy as it sounds. I actually think Alec Pierce, especially like T-Brad said, we're not asking him to be number 1, be a number 2, And again, Darius Slayton is my man, and he sucked. But if that guy remembers how to catch, he could be a decent number 3 or 4. So,
he hasn't remembered how to catch in 7 years.
I know. No. There was 1 year he did know how to catch.
1 year he did know how to catch 1 year. I always go back to years ago. The years ago, the Tampa game. That 3? It's almost 4 years ago now. I always go back to the Tampa game.
Did y'all see the work for Alex Pierce contract on Spot Track? Did y'all see how much he should get paid per year?
No, how much?
I'm just asking. If I could guess, I
No,
think
you
it's going to
can't
be at
fucking
least
come in with
what Slade-
knowledge and then be like, no, I didn't really. That's my line.
Yo,
I'm asking
he
questions.
built me up to have an answer, and I thought he had the answer. I was like, oh, I was on the edge of my seat. I was on the edge of my seat waiting for the answer.
Come on, Flop. That's the shit I do.
It's
You're
the
not
Socratic
supposed to-
method, man. It's wax on, wax off, Daniel, son. You feel me?
You're supposed to be like, you know what it is on Sport Track is it's a 23.6 million over floor. No, you don't sit there and go, no, I don't know what it is.
I don't know what it is.
That was a great ESPN. Hey, you guys know what his contract? No, I was like, no, I thought you guys knew. I was just bringing it up.
Well, so now I have to Google.
He gave us homework. He came in and gave us homework real quick.
Contract. Why would you fucking do this? Now I have to Google, and I don't like to Google, and I got to go on. Oh, dear Lord.
Well, I'm going to give you a guess. I'm going to give you a guess before you even see it. I'm going to say
Holy
16
shit.
mil.
3 million.
16 mil.
3 million.
They're saying projected to sign worth contract 4 years, 80 million.
4 years, 80 million.
4 years, 80 million.
Y'all still want him?
No, I didn't want him in the first place. Now, listen, to all fairness, that is Sports Track. This is not a. They are.
I was
not
going to say Sports Track. Where'd you get that from?
They're not. Well, that one I got from AI.
Oh.
I got from AI. This one is saying, this one is saying that Alex Pierce is calling for a 2 year, $62 million contract guaranteed.
What?
That's and this comes from the Sporting News.
Guaranteed.
He could push himself out. He could push himself out of a good situation, going for money. And I don't get mad at him. His career ain't going to necessarily be that long. You got to get all you can while you can.
The reason why they're going off this number is the projected salary cap number, if they tagged him, would have been 28.1. A second year tag in 27 would be 33.7.
Woo.
So that would be a projected $52 million guaranteed over 2 years.
That's
so
crazy.
you guys want Alex Pierce? You want Pierce now?
Listen, Joe Shane is sitting somewhere going, I like those numbers. Joe Shane's going, I like those numbers.
Joe Shane's going, you know what we need? We need Kevin Abrams because we need the calculator without a 7. So we can just make sure
thank God we got that woman in here. She can tell him no.
You mean Pam? We got Pam. She's coming in. She has been a person that has negotiated contracts and deals for the entire NFL. Because people are like, well, she's only got a couple years experience with the Jets and the Dolphins. Yes, but you don't need a vast NFL knowledge to be a contract negotiator because of the fact that you need to make sure everything fits in the salary cap. You need to know math. You need to know the law.
Continue straight.
That's all I'm gonna say. So people need to relax about her as well because I'm very happy that she's here. She seems like another calming, influencing force.
Anybody who takes decisions away from Joe Shane is a good move.
Oh, it's
anybody.
Great.
Yes.
I gotta bring in Mega Giants 89 for a second. The Giants are expected to produce free agent Tyler Linderbaum in free agency. Listen, I have been on the Linderbaum train since he came out. I wanted the Giants to draft him, and everyone's like, "Well, Tim, you don't like undersized centers." I don't. But Tyler Linderbaum, to me, was the exception to the rule, and I knew he was a guy that could come in and run block immediately for this New York Giant football team back when he was coming out of school. I did a whole video about him. And now that if you watch him, and those that love the venerable Pro Football Focus, his pass blocking rating has gone from 54 his first year to almost 90 last year and 88.7 the year before. So now he's improved his run blocking ability. He's the perfect, like I said, if you have Andrew Thomas, I've said this before, Thomas, Linderbaum, and I draft Fano. And I have 3 of my 5 offensive line. And I'm protecting my young investment in Jackson Dart because now I only have 3 picks in the top 105. He makes sense. Guys, I'm going to start with James. Does the Linderbaum, I think the Linderbaum makes all the sense in the world.
Well, I was just going to fire back and ask anybody on this esteemed panel or in the chat, when's the last time we had offensive linemen make a Pro Bowl? Could anybody name a guy off the top of the dome?
I was gonna say Andrew
Tell me
Thomas.
you got an answer.
Andrew Thomas has never made a Pro Bowl.
I do not have an answer, brother T-Brad. I'm literally asking the panel.
I'm gonna go Chris Snead.
Yeah, I was gonna go Snead too.
You know how long ago that was?
Well, you didn't ask me how long ago it was. I don't know.
Over a decade.
I got the philosopher coming in, not dropping knowledge. You want me to do fucking math? Does anyone understand it's 11:45 on a Sunday?
I'm just saying.
Name here.
Super Bowl Sunday.
Super Bowl
Next
Sunday.
Friday is the 13th.
And next Friday's the 13th.
Oh God.
Know what I love, philosopher? You don't know the fucking contract for Pierce, but you know on Friday the 13th.
Yeah, it's one of the mornings, man. It's more stoned than the philosopher this morning. That's what it is.
That's pretty good. That's
more stoned philosopher.
That's even better. T-Brad, the Linderbaum.
T-Brad looks like Jalen Hyatt.
I think he needs to be. If you guys can see me in this tunnel, you're amazing. But I love the Linderbaum pick. If we can get him, he needs to be our number one priority. I don't know if I agree with grabbing a offensive tackle at 5, but I do understand the philosophy. But grabbing Linderbaum, it makes a huge difference. It makes a huge difference. You got to invest in Dart. You believe in him. Let's do our best to protect him. We don't have any good running backs. Yes, I know we got Cam Scatterbo. Yes, I know we got Tracy. We don't have good running backs. We have okay running backs, but we don't have good running backs or great running backs, I should say. We got solid running backs, good running backs, but we don't have great running backs. So getting that type of help from the line can make those good, okay running backs be that much better. So yes, all in on Linderbaum.
You have this gentleman saying not paying Linderbaum $20 million. We need to replace four of the five from our offensive line, but getting Linderbaum, don't you replace one of those 4? And listen, I understand that Baltimore did not want to pay this guy $25.8 million. That's why they did not pick up his 5th-year option, because your 5th-year option is predicated off Pro Bowls, the amount of time you play, and the fact that they don't do it positionally. They take the average of offensive linemen. That's why his number was going to be 25.8. But you're still going to have to pay this guy at least $20 million. Yeah, I agree. You're going to have to pay a franchise center who could potentially continue on this trajectory, be a Hall of Famer, and who is going to help with the line shifts, is going to help with the adjustments, is going to help calling out the mic, is going to help do those things that you need help with a second-year quarterback. $20 million to me is for 4 or 5. If you want to give him 5 at 20 for 100, you guaranteed 54, 68 or whatever. I'm fine with that, because you gave Paulson Adebo 54 and guaranteed 36 coming off an injury. I'm getting a guy coming off 3 Pro Bowls, and the last 4 years has been the best center in the league to help my rookie quarterback, which is all about building around Jackson Dart. It makes all the sense in the world.
What's a Pro Bowl?
What's a Pro Bowl?
So my question for you though is based off that.
Yeah, right.
So you don't want to re-sign Illuminor?
I think Ellie Moore Fudd is a mercenary. I think he's going to go where the money is. He's already proven that. He had a deal in place with the Arizona Cardinals and came to the Giants, and this is always the Hard Knocks, the gift that keeps on giving, because we gave him almost $3-4 million more. So I think and there's nothing wrong with that, because of the fact that NFL players' careers are short, but there's not as much, people going around here going, no, I want to be a Giant. No, if someone's I wouldn't be shocked if he goes back to the Raiders and does it for $6-7 million more in total contract value. And I think you get rid of Runyon, because I think we can replace Runyon with his salary cap hit and where we're at. I think you can replace him with a comparable player at $7 million. And like I said, I grab, and know it's James and I talk about it. It's not sexy, but I take either Francis or Fano at 5 Have Andrew Thomas. Hopefully he gives you 12, 14 games. Have the Linderbaum. And then there are some, but again, this whole thing with the draft picks really kind of fucks us a little bit. There are some, guards that we could take lower in the draft that could probably start. And also you have Bo and other players that you hope they're going to cultivate with the new staff.
Yeah, I think I like Linderbaum, and I think that would be a good signing. But if we sign him, then that would necessitate us finding a new solution at the tackle spot. And this draft is a little shallow with the tackles, so I think we would have to go high with Francis or one of the offensive tackles from the from Utah.
That's Mr. Fano. I gotta find out what pants James is wearing when he comes back. I was like, did he have dinosaurs on his ass as he just ran out the door? He either needs another beer or needs to go to the bathroom.
Well, I hope he ain't going outside to smoke.
No, it's too
cold.
It's too fucking
cold. You got to be dedicated.
I went out to Wawa. I'm dedicated because I ran out to the Wawa this morning to get a cup of coffee because I was fucking lazy. This is a good thing. This is actually a good question because I was thinking about this now that we kind of got screwed with our with the draft picks. I was just thinking about, could we take Love at 5, running back out of Notre Dame? Could we need a bell cow every down back. We need a down the hill running back. We need a guy that can take some of the pressure off of Jackson Dart. If you got yourself a Linderbaum, let's say in free agency, let's say you got a second level wide receiver in free agency, could you take Love at 5?
Much as I like him, no.
Okay.
I don't know who the question was for, but as much as I like him, no. I can't take him at 5. If I could trade back and get ahead of Kansas City, I'm trading back and then maybe doing it. But I think we need a running back, but not necessarily that early.
James, could you take, if we went and got the Linderbaum, let's say, and we got a second level wide receiver, could you take Love out of Notre Dame at 5?
No, can't do that. This is a good chance for us to really start building the team the right way. How you build a house, infrastructure first, so a lot of, it's funny, I made a comment earlier that we keep talking about skill position players, and it's like, obviously we're not taking this guy at 5, but we need stuff like a kicker who's good, like we're all worried about wide receiver, running backs as we should, but there are other positions on this team, not at 5, but we need real positions on this team, not just the cute stuff that looks on ESPN, linemen, depth, even some, I would be more accepting. I know you don't like it, Tim, but I would be more accepting of taking downs at 5 than a wide receiver.
Well, here's the reason why I bring this up. If you look at the player rankings on multiple websites for the top players, a lot of people have Reuben Bain Jr. number 1. I don't see that, but a lot of people do. Then it goes, this is where it gets interesting. Then it goes Caleb Downs at 2, Love at 3, Mendoza at 4, Francis at 5, Falk at 6, Reese at 7, and McCoy at 8. And then Tate Tate's at 10, Bailey's at 11, Tyson's at 12. So it's interesting to see how positionally people are ranked by certain, draft websites. But then it's interesting to see that, we're saying we can't take Love at 5, even though technically on a lot of sites he is ranked anywhere between the 2nd to the 3rd top prospect in this draft in reference to just talent. And
I'm gonna play devil's advocate.
Shoot.
All right, so there's 2 cases I would say that show you can take a running back high and you'll have somewhat at least positive results. Jahmyr Gibbs went number 12. That's pretty high for a running back. It's not top 5, but 12 is really high for a running back, and he transformed their offense. And he's a transformative kind of player. Jahmyr Gibbs.
Wait. Yeah, but don't you have another running back there?
You do, but
Montgomery.
You're talking about Montgomery, right?
Yeah, David Montgomery.
Right. But our Montgomery would be Scatterbo, or a mixture of Scatterbo and.
I say if you tied together Tyrone Tracy and Scatterbo, yes, then you got
right.
David Montgomery. But
I'm like, oh my God.
the fucking bad news is I failed science and biology, so there's no way I can help combine these two players together.
If you ever seen Dragon Ball Z, you got to do the fusion dance. They got to
Oh
do
my
the
God.
fusion dance. And
Have you had enough right now to do the fusion dance for us?
shit. Nah.
I've never seen Dragon Ball. I apologize.
But
He said that so professional. I'm sorry, guys.
sorry, man. I'm sorry, I can't do it, man. I'm sorry, I apologize.
I felt like you were all in on something I wasn't in, so sorry, I'm not in.
I was there, but T-Brad, to the point I was bringing up, a lot of people have love between in their top and their big boards, and all of them that I'm seeing have him either at 2 or 3. I have not seen a board right now that has him under 3, but we can't take him at 5.
Let me break it down to you like this.
Okay, drop some knowledge.
If Love is there and Caleb Downs is there, I'm taking Caleb Downs very fast, and both positions are supposedly not supposed to get drafted first round top 5.
Well,
Okay?
running back used to be a top 5 position.
Right now, I'm talking about now in the current NFL, you're not supposed to get them that early. So the reason I grabbed Caleb Downs is I think Caleb Downs is a dog. I don't think if I go second or third round, well, obviously can't go third round, but if I go second or fourth round to grab another safety, I'm not going to get anyone who's going to give what Caleb Downs can get. But if I get to the running back position, I'm not going to get a running back as good as Love. But I will be able to find a running back in the third or fourth round while grabbing Caleb Downs that can get the job done. And I just need him to get the job done. Be able to provide so much in that backfield that's going to hopefully help the front 7 that was supposed to be hit last year just sucked overall, not Brian Burns, but whatever, overall as far as dictating the game on defense. So I'm taking Caleb Downs. Am I pissed if we get Love? No.
Okay, but here's
trading
my
back
thing.
might be good too.
Here's my thing about Caleb Downs. The kid from Oregon, Dylan, I can't remember his last name.
Eneman?
Yes, thank you. He to me is a day 1 starter. He's got high coverage grades. He's a good tackler. I think if you take a look at between him and Caleb Downs, I think there's definitely a gap. But I think he is a guy that could come in right now and be it could literally be a starter for this team, and I could probably grab him later in the draft. You got the kid from Texas. He's a little undersized at 6 feet, and I think he's only like 190, but he's got a high second round value. He's a guy that's instinctive. He's fast. He's a special teamers. He is a guy that understands route I've seen him before. He understands route recognition. He's not a guy that's going to get lost in the sauce. I could probably grab him in the 3rd round if I trade back up. And then I can also grab AJ out of LSU. And the question is going to be, the problem is going to be with Caleb is he is an elite zone coverage guy. But we don't know what Denard Wilson's going to play yet. So like I said, there's no way I can take Caleb Downs at 5 and pass on Love because of the fact there are probably 3 other safeties that I could plug in right now and start if I either trade back up into the 3rd round or potentially grab them in the 4th.
Well, I think we need to stay away from Oregon players.
Is Love the player that you want? I like that. Is Love the player that you want?
No.
Okay, because I'm going to say, if you keep talking about him, I guarantee we won't get him. So just go ahead and keep talking and say you want Love. They go opposite of whatever the hell it is we want.
Keep speaking it into non-existence.
Who did we get? We got Andrew Thomas. No, just Love, like I said, depending on what you're free to do. And this is the other thing, guys, and everyone in the chat. We have to see what the hell we do in free agency.
Absolutely. That will tell us more about the draft.
Yeah, because if Travis ATM is available, like I said, I think he's the type of back the Giants have missed since, I don't know, some guy named Saquon Barkley.
Have we looked at his expected salary?
Well,
Because I know I have.
Stat book.
I don't know. I didn't look.
Homework assignments.
Homework assignments.
Yeah, we need the homework assignment to figure out. Because I like Travis Etienne.
Projected contract.
I do too.
Travis ATM. Here we go. Let's see here. Contract projected total right here. There's a couple websites. Let's go. They're saying 3 years, 34.5. So that's a little over 10 a year.
That's not bad.
Well,
we didn't want to pay Saquon too much more than that.
Being that we don't have, well, hold on. That's what I was getting ready to say.
That Saquon
The only
thing
reason we weren't was because we had a $40 million quarterback. The quarterback, a $10 million running back or $12 million running back. So we're good.
That looks like.
And Joe Shane doesn't make the calls anymore.
James Stein, I see you in the chat. I meant to tell you, but I can't bring you in. For some reason, it's something's really fucked up with my StreamYard today because I can't get my screen to work in the back. I can't bring in. For some reason, it's not allowing me to bring in other people. So I do apologize for that. And I don't know why because I didn't update my browser. Relaunch to update. All right. Well, that's my fault. The professionalism here.
The problem is like Mr. Perry said that my boys being one of them. Like so many of these fans think Cam Scatterbo is going to turn into Ahmad Bradshaw, and it's like that's not going to happen, kids. I don't, just let me just put that out there. Like Cam Scatterbo, I know we like him and his jubilance, I guess I'll call it, but he's not going to be Ahmad Bradshaw or Brandon Jacobs. It's not going to happen.
No, he's interesting.
We need another running back.
Colorful. That's
colorful. I like that. He's colorful.
That's what they in like the 80s and 90s when you were kind of a dick, they used to just call you colorful.
Yeah.
So that's what Cam is. And right here is Mr. Damon says our second overall pick running back took the Eagles to a Super Bowl win. We just never had the line to let him eat. Well, whose fault is that? And I agree.
Yeah, I
agree with you 1,000%.
Joe Shane.
It was Joe Shane's fault.
Listen, when the Cowboys took,
I think he's arguing in your favor to grab.
No, he is.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of pontificating that it was Joe Shane's fucking fault.
If you're in the right position and have the right team, the Cowboys took Ezekiel Elliott, Buckeye, and he changed their life for the next 5-6 years because they had the best offensive line in football.
Wait, I have a question.
When we took Saquon, we didn't have the best offensive line in football.
James, Ezekiel Elliott, Buckeye, how many Super Bowls did he win for the Dallas Cowboys?
How many rushing titles did he win?
Really?
Ooh.
I'd rather have a Super Bowl ring than a rushing title because that's an individual stat, not a team stat.
Who was his quarterback? Todd Gurley carried the Rams to the Super Bowl. Jared Goff couldn't do anything in the game. Running back can't win it by itself.
Sure they can.
Oh.
Ooh, we're getting spicy today. What pants are you wearing?
I'm loving it.
I know. So I forgot to ask you, what pants are you wearing? Are you wearing dinosaur pants?
I'm wearing my Halloween pants.
Okay, we saw you go backwards, and we thought you had on dinosaur pants.
Oh no, these are my Halloween. These are my Michael Myers pants with my Satchel Paige shirt. Happy Black History Month.
That's right. Happy Black History Month. That's right. And Saquon got a ring. Saquon got a ring. You can talk about all those great Ohio State running backs.
Oh, I just want to point this out while my brothers are here. Oh, and I'm talking about all three of y'all. Everybody talking about Wandell. You know who he had his best games with? The two black quarterbacks. Just to point that out. Go check that. Okay? The two black quarterbacks. His best game with Dart was the game against the Raiders where the Raiders weren't even trying. Let that sink in.
And the other game was against Dallas Cowboys.
With the black quarterback.
Well, who was the quarterback with Detroit?
The black quarterback. The other black quarterback. Just saying.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your
Why is it got to be about race?
Yeah, why is it going to be about race, James?
Because I'm just saying, everybody wants to keep this guy because he had 1,000 yards, but the best games he had was with the non-starters. I just find that hilarious.
No, James. Oh, that's a good point. No, James, not going to let you do that. Cowboys offensive line gave Zeke the rushing titles. Remember, they gave Murray rushing titles as well. Oh. Ooh.
Shots fired.
Ooh, shots fired across the bow.
So how's that a shots fired? We just said Saquon won a ring. So I guess the Eagles offensive line ran all them yards for Saquon. What are we talking about?
Yes.
Come on. Let's not be ridiculous.
He's saying, if I could translate properly, what he's saying is
You can put any running back behind that line.
the offensive line did it for
Except for Cam Scatterbull. Because he'll just get hurt.
Or it's because he's white.
He was the best running back in the Giants' history. In the history of the New York Giants.
Come on, man. If it was up to this fan base, we'd put Scatterbull and Olszewski out there. It'd be like, we have the best skill position players ever.
I mean, the person that caught the stray was Murray, because Murray was nice back in the day.
I was going to say, Murray was nice.
I'm like, yo.
What did DeMarco Murray do?
Right, Murray's sitting like, what did I do? What the?
Yeah, DeMarco Murray has just spent Super Bowls as Ezekiel Elliott.
Yeah, and I don't know
But
what the
that's not a
shot
running back
Ezekiel took.
stat.
Ezekiel Elliott was the best running back in the league for 3 years straight. So I don't know what that's supposed to mean, Perry. I don't know what we're doing here.
You're just upset that DeMarco Murray went to Oklahoma. Went to a real school.
Somebody said
The
Super Bowls are a quarterback stat, though. I forgot who said that. But
God.
somebody said that.
Oh, my God.
Mr. Perry also says that the Eagles won a Super Bowl before Saquon got there.
But that's not the same team, though.
What does that have to do with the running back? What does that have to do with the price of tea in China?
Funny how Giant fans hate their own, then ship off and do well and take out the Giants' leadership. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, every time we, yeah, you're right. Upon winning the Steelers head coach position, Mike McCarthy ate 3 entire Supreme pizzas to start the evening. Okay.
I'm so glad we didn't get Mike McCarthy. All these other coaches that Giants fans wanted, I am so glad we didn't get him. Like Harbaugh, I was like, yes, thank you. Some of the names.
I'm so glad we didn't get Stefanski, guy who thought Dylan Gabriel was the answer.
Oh my, yeah.
Well, did you see George Sanders' Pro Bowl performance?
I don't watch the Bowl Pro anymore. It's the Bowl Pro. I don't watch that event anymore.
When was that?
It was the other day. It was like 2-3 days ago.
Nobody even knows. It was on TV.
Did they do flag football or did they play real football?
No, they do flag. They don't play real football anymore. They did flag football.
Yeah, I like the Pro Bowl needs to be replaced with like the top athletes to do something. Remember that you said that running with the stars and they do the fastest person. Whoever
you want to do? Wait. You want to do Battle of the Network Stars?
Yeah, they need to replace the Pro Bowl with that, but all in the NFL. You know, you get the fast because there's always arguments about who's the fastest. You get them all in to run the 40 against each other. Give them something entertaining.
You know what we should do?
The game sucks.
I just thought of this before training camp. We should all get together and run the 40. See who's the fastest out of this group.
If we ran it, I'd probably still be running now.
I was literally going to say, if we do that, I'm going to start now because I need a head start.
I was going to say, you have bad knees. What are we doing? What are you talking about? We can't do that.
If we run the 40, what I need is like, you know how you run and see those long like Boston marathons, you see his tables of water. Like at the 20-yard mark, I need like a table of water for me so I can finish.
We need a break at the 20-yard mark.
Yeah, just so I can finish and get to the 40.
Make sure you're hitting the like button, guys. I didn't get my 50 likes. I'm gonna have to leave soon. So yeah, that's not good. Didn't get my 50. I got 45. I need 50. 50.
Hey, yo, gentlemen, I'm gonna get out of here so more people can come into the show.
Oh, all right,
brother.
All right, my friend.
Stone, that's just an excuse. He just said nobody else is coming. You just want to go get more stoned. It's fine. It's fine, brother. We love you. It's okay.
I'm getting the wrap-up single. I was gonna say, I already told him to take the fucking thing to work. He's like, he does it so eloquently. Yeah, man. You know, I really appreciate you guys, but I would like to have some other people, you know, have the opportunity to come on board.
Well, before I go though, I got a quick question. Who y'all got today? Who y'all got?
I think
Seattle.
the Seahawks. I think Seattle wins, but I take the 4.5 for New England.
Yeah, Seattle.
And covers the spread.
We haven't had a blowout Super Bowl in a while.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I think it's gonna be a blowout. That defense is insane.
Wasn't last year's a blowout? Philly beat the shit out of Kansas City.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah,
it kind of was.
Yeah, Philly beat the
I
shit
love
out
this
of-
one. Though. Just run the 20 instead of the 40.
Just run this way. Yeah. Well, then if that's the case,
All right,
at
listen.
the 10-yard mark.
If we're running the 20-yard dash, I'm down.
I could probably get a 5-second 20-yard dash.
I think I can do a 5-second 20-yard dash. I think I can do that.
5 seconds.
I think a philosopher's just like, I'm done.
He's like, we're talking about running. I ain't running nothing, fellas.
I love the Seattle 56-10. We also have 28-24. The Pats. I don't know, man. Barry Sanders had an average line and carried the franchise from 89 to 98. You're right. He did. I agree. Oh, I'm getting the wrap-up signal from our producer.
What is it? Is it a cat meme?
No, it's literally she's standing above me doing this.
Wrap that ish up. Wrap that up, B.
We are.
Is this the NBA or the NFL? Because that could mean replay. That could mean replay.
That could be she wants me to keep going because you're right. That is replay.
Oh yes. That means keep it going. Yes.
Now we're getting this.
Oh, wrap that ish up, B.
That definitely means sit it down.
It could be pass interference. Just throwing that out there. Nope. Now I can't even tell you what she just did now.
She gave you.
I was say good luck. All the penalties
No, she didn't
are
do
on
that.
you, so we're good. we're good and safe over here.
All right, guys. I'm gonna wrap it up this evening. I appreciate everyone that came on. Appreciate it.
I gotta wrap it up before I get stabbed.
Yeah, appreciate you, brother.
I'm waiting for the. Oh, see, that was a wrap-up cue. I'm waiting for the cue to come in right now, but I do appreciate T-Brad, who hasn't been on forever. Big James Williams always here. We also the philosopher who just left. He's like, nope, I don't play the game no more. And I also want to thank James Stein, who tried to get in, but evidently I screwed everything up. So we got our Super Bowl predictions in. We got everything in. So I don't know when we're going to stream again, but we will have some videos coming out. So make sure with some draft videos coming out. So to make sure you stay tuned for that. I appreciate everyone that hung out this Saturday. And for James, for T-Brad, this is Tim. And for FanDuel and the Mighty Believe, we're out.